and welcome to another episode of the Talk That Talk Show with me, Barry Holmes. I'm super excited to be here. It's just been an amazing, monumental week of work. I gotta show you guys, I'm flexing my brand new mask. Shout out to Ink Parlor. We got the best sponsor in the game. They've been hooking me up with some amazing stuff. I've been talking to Tim, constantly seeing how we can put out incredibly dope stuff to continue to get you guys to support and feel proud to support. And you know, like I said, this Talk That Talk show is something that it's gonna be a force to be reckoned with, and we're here to stay, man. I look back at some of my old episodes, and the second episode I actually named it. It was called "We Are Here to Stay," and I feel that same type of feeling here coming into episode 67, where you know I don't lose track of where we've come from to get to this point. One of the real things that I actually wanted to talk to you guys before we welcome our sponsors is the fact that, you know, something monumental happened with this Talk That Talk show literally yesterday. And, you know, I've been working feverishly with my boy Timmy Hugel. Shout out to Tim Hugel at Ink Parlor. And, you know, we really wanted to try and create something really dope that people can say and want to really grasp and say, yo, I need that OG4. And, you know, I was talking to, you know, Tim for a while about different ideas, and he was, you know, spitballing some stuff at me. And, you know, I just, you know, I really fell in love with this idea that he pitched to me not too long ago. I'd say maybe a month or two ago. And from that point on, you know, this is why it's so important to have the right people around you, or have positive people, you know, there that, you know, not only believe in you, but also want to have your best interests at heart. And here was Tim, and he came to me and he said, yo, you know, I know you haven't liked some of the ideas that I've had before, but, you know, trust me on this one. You know, I just need you to trust me on this idea. We're going to get you, I just need you, give me an action shot. You know, give me an action shot. And I asked my little brother to help me. Tyree came through. He wound up taking some pictures for me. And, you know, we sent them back and forth between Tim. And he got in contact with this artist, Sam Villarreal. Shout out to Sam Villarreal. He followed us on Instagram and then also on his Facebook as well, too. But, you know, he is, you know, an amazing artist. And, you know, this is what this project and this is what the Talk That Talk show is always about, man. You know, I was so hyped to drop the OG4s, not just because I put my face on a shirt, but because we were able to thank our sponsors on the back. And, you know, our sponsors are a big part of this show as well, too. You know, shout out to VW Liquors, located in Wick Plaza, Edison, New Jersey. Shout out to our other sponsor, Air We Are, from Edison as well, too, one of our brand new sponsors. Also want to give a big shout out to Skydye Socks. Our boy Savion's been killing the game. You can see his socks have been all over social media. They are on board with us on this as well, too. Then also, we got to give our props also to 91s.com. I'm sporting the OG1 Smoke collab between me and 91s.com, our boy Cody Bromley. And, you know, like I said, we're just continuing to push forward and give you guys what you want to hear about, man. And, you know, I wouldn't be coming through here trying to give you all everything I got. I mean, I got everything delivered for y'all. So I just got to thank everybody that's tuned in, like my boy Jeff on Instagram, my boy Gabe Azzarello, Ishabod Crane, my boy Peter on our Instagram live stream. My boy Chris Shank Jr., he said manifestation, Barry Buckets for president. I don't know, man. Maybe I should run for president, man. I think I'd have a lot more people smiling and I'd have a lot more money in our pockets, I'll tell you that much. Shout out to my boy Ryan Mackey on our Facebook live stream, Ariel Glesman, Chris Higgins. I had a great conversation with him, and Tyree Holmes. And you know, also, like I said, I want to give a shout out to Ink Parlor, who was our last sponsor. And, you know, I actually got a good conversation with Chris Higgins because, you know, he saw, you know, the things that we were doing. And, you know, he saw that, hey, you know, I need to see if I can get some, you know, shirts made myself. And that's what it's all about. You know, when you have, you know, people that are on top, you know, I always said, like, it's so dope to bring people up with you. And the fact that I've been able to, you know, also, you know, incorporate Ink Parlor in there and get them, you know, incorporated with some of the people that I'm cool with. I was on the job with Kodos literally painting today, doing my contracting work. And Tim shows up to the job, and I look at my phone, and he has like candid shots of me like painting. He's like this professional painter. Look at this balance. I'm like, yo, what is this dude doing? You know? But it's like that type of relationship that I have with my sponsor, where he can pull up to me at my job and literally, you know, give me some dope, you know, apparel like this mask. And we're so excited to, you know, celebrate the success of the OG4s that at the end of the show, we're going to be raffling off a very own mask, and you're gonna get a sticker in there too as well. The OG4s, when I said I was gonna make these shirts, you know, I only decided to get 30 of them. I wanted it to be, you know, an exclusive club of people, you know, that really are loyal supporters of the show, and I put a lot into these shirts, man. And to you know, to the point of that is that, you know, I had a little bit of flack from people when, you know, we have the OG1s and the OG2s, which are pretty affordable at the $20 range. You know, you have the OG3, which is a different colorway, and, you know, bump the price up, we're at $25. But here we had a shirt where I literally put my face on a shirt. You know what I'm saying? Giving you a quality shirt with the sponsors all in the back. You know, we got a lot of flack for having that $50 price range for the shirt. But I tell you to tell you this. You know, I had people that commented in on Facebook, you know, saying how much they liked the shirt. And when you messaged them, you know, there was people that, you know, said, okay, you know, I'm good on that. And that's okay with me. You know, that's okay. I'm not offended. But the one thing that I want to explain to everyone out there is this, is you have to understand and know your worth, all right? You know, I had to tell, you know, a couple of my really good friends that I'm sorry, I cannot give you the discount on this shirt, you know? And one of the things that, you know, I was a little worried about too was, you know, are we really going to be able to sell these shirts, you know? And it was tough because then I had some of my friends that were trying to leverage and saying, oh, you know, well, how about this? You know, you're doing really good on the shirts. You seem like you've done a lot. Why can't you cut me the deal? And, you know, I bring it to say into this, you know, with some of my other, you know, people that I've talked to and people that, you know, have been mentors to me. And they always say, you know, if you have friends out there, you know, your friends, you know, if they really care about you, they will pay full price. You know what I'm saying? If you have something that's really dope, something that people really want, they will support you no matter what, as long as you put the best foot forward. And I feel like with the consistency that I've put in for 67 episodes, the groundwork, the time, everything that we put in just to make these quality shirts for you, that is the reason why I can feel confident saying, hey, you know, this shirt is $50. You know, we have $30 options for you with these smoke t-shirts. You have the $20 options. You have $25 options. But for right now, I'm sorry to my friends that wanted a discount, but I cannot provide any discounts on this OG4. It is straight flames. People pay $60 for a basic plain Nike tee. All right, I'm giving you a memorable shirt. And I'm so excited to say that 30 people believed in me, and we were sold out in less than 12 hours. We sold out 30 shirts in less than 12 hours. 30 other people believed in me and believed that they want to rock a shirt with my face on it, man. And I can't tell you how inspiring that is to me, to the point where I'm out here trying to figure out how I can take that proceeds and make a website to give you all a central location to go to for the Talk That Talk show. You know, I'm doing the research, I'm putting the groundwork in, and it's the support that I'm getting from people that, I joked around with one of my friends, I think Kodos, when we were on the beams, but I literally said the success of the OG4s literally pumped life in my body, man. I felt like when I was at work, you know, I felt like it was tough. You know, Kodos' line of work, you know, even though he hooked me up with a job, it's not exactly the easiest line of work. So there's some times where you're going home and you're tired, man. You know, I've been on a beam, getting the sun beamed on me all day. I understand and I appreciate those construction workers out there. But, you know, and I made a joke with him because it was like, you know, when all the pre-orders that came in as we were working, I was like, damn, Kodos, you know, I didn't even maybe have to come to work today, you know? But it was so funny because even though you have that success, you know, I'm still out there grinding. And that's what the message that I'm trying to get to everyone out there is this, you know? This was not built in one day. And I'm still not finished. Even though people did not get a chance to get on this OG4 release, don't worry. We're going to have more releases. I got some really hot stuff out there. Tim, we're working on it. But, like I said, for everyone out there that's tuned in, like Matt Kayumjan on our Facebook live stream, like Uncle Mickey on my Facebook live stream, Ryan Mackey on our Instagram live stream. We got my boy Mike Greer. We got my boy Jabex. Hopefully have him on the show soon to talk about his Bollywood experience. And then also we got Kodos on the Instagram live stream as well, too. But like I said, we got a lot of people here tonight, and it's only fitting that we have so many people here on such a monumental night where, I proved to myself and hopefully to a lot of other people out there that this Talk That Talk show is serious. We got some really dope stuff lined up. I'm in the works with having some incredibly dope guests on the show as well, too. One of those being Christopher Garrett. He's going to be coming through and being on the show next week. So that's going to be one you're definitely going to want to tune into as well, too, my UBA teammate. But, just stick with us. Stay loyal with us. And just be proud to wear those shirts. My sister called me when I was literally painting with Kodos as well, too. And she was like, Barry, you'll never guess. I was in the grocery store and 5 people came up to me and the cashier and when I was getting bread. And it literally is those conversations that, like I said, it just pumps life in my body, man. So to everyone out there that has an OG 1, 2, 3, whether you ordered an OG4, like I told my boy Peter, support is support is support no matter what. And, I don't care whether you got an OG1, whether you don't, whether you tuned in today, whether you tuned in some days. I appreciate from the bottom of my heart everyone that tunes into this show because, I put my heart, mind, and soul into this show, man, and it's not easy. It's not easy, but that consistency is what makes us the greatest show on Friday night. So thank you for rocking with me, guys, and we got a good one lined up. So, for those people out there that don't know, Jeffrey has been killing it on the parlays. I mean, this guy's been racking it up in terms of sports betting. So, I'm going to throw some nuggets out there for some of you all, those sports bettors that, really have tuned into this show, but haven't really, you're looking for those couple other ones to add to your parlay to make it a little bit sweeter, right? So real quick, I got a lot of flack from people for saying, oh, Barry, you love the Devils. Oh, you like hockey, but you never talk about hockey. Well, here you go. This is for all the hockey fans out there. I'm going to give you a little bit of hockey love because I tell you what, the Washington Capitals have been eliminated from the playoffs. We will have a new NHL Stanley Cup champion. And boy, that's a sweet thing to say, man, because I hate the Capitals, man. I know Ovechkin, he's one of the best goal scorers of all time, but I just can't rock with, the amount of times I've seen them come into, the Prudential Center and kick my team's ass. So, I don't like the Capitals, but what I will say is this. If you're looking for a future bet for someone that you want to put your money on to win the NHL playoffs, I'm going to tell you, for me, it's going to be from the Eastern Conference, and I'm going to have to go with the Tampa Bay Lightning. I really like Tyler Johnson. I think that, when he's in the playoffs, when you're looking for a goal late in the game, I think that Tyler Johnson's someone that has stepped up in the past. He's done a lot of dope stuff for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and he just scored in I think a goal in their last thriller against the Columbus Blue Jackets in overtime. So, I think that it's also tough to see Blake Coleman, who is one of my favorite players on the Devils, because he was somebody that was constantly, skating hard. They always talk about skating hard and trying to create, opportunities for your teammates. And he actually scored in the last goal against Columbus as well, too. So, those are two guys that I'm going to look to. I know, we all know Kucherov, on Tampa Bay's, one of those bullies who's been scoring points for them as well, too. But, I really like how diverse that team is set up. And I really believe that they're a team that can beat any team, whether it's Eastern Conference or Western Conference, especially at the 2 seed. But for those of you that after this show are going to be looking to your betting sites and you're going to say, what NHL lock, Barry? What is your NHL lock? And I'm going to say this, all right? The St. Louis Blues, right? The St. Louis Blues are going to lose, all right? I'm telling you that they're going to lose to the Vancouver Canucks. And I'm going to give you the big reason why. You have Jacob Markstrom, who has won 6 of his last 9 postseason games as a goalie. So since this restart, the Vancouver goalie has won 6 out of their last 9 games. And I'm going to tell you this. Goaltending is what comes down to it in NHL playoff, hockey. And you got to see what your goaltender is made of. And I got to tell you this, as someone that maybe isn't as avid on hockey, you got to look at, things like their goaltending play. And I'm going to look to the Canucks and I'm saying, hey, here's a team with nothing to lose, all right? St. Louis is a team that has everything else riding on them, everything on their back, right? And I definitely have to say that, the St. Louis Blues are going to lose tonight. So, if you have some money, if you're going to put some money on your parlay, I'm going to tell you this. Put your money on the Canucks money line because they're going to send St. Louis home. Now, one of the other things that I definitely have to talk about is my Subway Series, man. How shitty is that? I've been waiting all year to see the Mets against the Yankees, and I don't even get to see it because of this coronavirus, and it's really tough, man. It is really, really tough. And one of the things that I think about, and we really have to look at numbers when you really break it down, right? And I got to break these numbers down to you at this. 7 of 12,485 samples have tested positive. So there's been 7 tests in the past week in the MLB, right? So that's a 0.05% positive rate, right? So when we look at the large scale of things, right? The MLB has had 7 players that have tested positive, right? But the big thing about this is we got to look at it as like a contrast, right? We got to look at it from a push and pull segment, right? And when I look at it, I look at the NBA on the other end, who they're conducting a full playoffs, and they haven't skipped a beat. We have to say that this bubble has been working. We've had players, and there's definitely big-time ramifications and rules on how to quarantine when you're entering and leaving the bubble. My dad literally just came back from vacation in Virginia, and he's not even here with us because he's quarantining in the room somewhere in the house for about 2 weeks, And it sucks because he wasn't on our last episode last week too. But these are the things that you have to do, and you have to follow the right ramifications if you want to continue and beat this virus, right? And what I'm looking at with the NBA is I'm seeing that they're not missing games. They haven't had as many positive tests, even though, in the past week, the MLB has had 7, right? I look at this and I say this. When you have the MLB that's lost 36 games, 36 games have been canceled. What's going to happen in the playoff time if, somebody tests positive for coronavirus again? We've been really good on the MLB for not canceling their season, but with the amount of, positive tests, it's very alarming, and it's tough because, we love baseball, and you think it's one of the most, contactless sports in terms of trying to get coronavirus, but I think it's very, very tough to do that when you see the numbers have been very much higher than a lot of the other sport, organizations out there like, soccer, like NBA, like MMA, who's been showing, the groundwork for everybody because they've had no stoppage, even through the coronavirus. So, the MLB's got to figure it out. They have to figure out some way to see how they can get some of these positive tests down because it's really, really tough. I wonder, if the NBA playoffs are, going to be, how can I say it? They're not going to be affected because I truly believe that, Adam Silver and everybody in the organizations and the leadership groups up there are going to have that corral, and there's already a system in place, and the bubble has been working. But, MLB has to figure it out because, I tell you this, you got to think about it in terms of not just this year, but, for years to come. My mom said it jokingly, as she came into the house, but she said we're going to be wearing masks for a long time, and that could be very well true, but, something that these sports organizations are going to have to figure out, man. They really are, because it's something that's not going to go away anytime soon. Shout out to my boy Josh Heems that's on Instagram Live. I guess I'm right because Jeff said he's got the Canucks in a parlay as well too. Shout out to him. We got Dan Comdad on our Facebook live stream. Christy Lee, Mary Beth Heaney, Ashley G, Angelo Paulo, Brady Hinton. Shout out to you on the Facebook live stream. But Another thing that we have to talk about that a lot of people have been giving me flack for, I had my boy Alex Balonis, who's big on the soccer. Also, my boy Johnny Elmaroof, who's big on the soccer. If you're someone that wants to get a little action on soccer, the UEFA Championship is Sunday. For all you soccer fans out there, you better be watching. Because even for the most casual of soccer fans, I've always joked around and said, oh, soccer's boring. I'll watch it during the World Cup. But this is going to be a very interesting game and very well matched for those people that are the casual fans of soccer, but also want to get a little action, right? You have a team in Paris Saint-Germain, all right? A French team going up against Bayern Munich. All right, I think they're fifth total for UEFA Championships, Bayern. And then you have PSG, who's won 5 of the last 8 meetings, but they haven't won since 1995-96, right? So something's got to give, and I think it has a perfect storyline for somebody out there that might be interested in trying to get into soccer or get your, a little bit of action. And I'm going to tell you this. This is what Barry's going to put down. Remember, take note because I'm giving you the parlay notes here. I'm going with PSG. Anytime you got Neymar on that field, I don't care who you're going against. I think that, the fact that PSG has won 5 of the last 8, the fact that they haven't won in a while, I think that that's going to be that little edge that they're going to need to try and vault them to get this win and to win the UEFA Championship. We're going to have a new champion. So, that's pretty interesting, and I'm excited about that. But I can't be Barry Buckets. I can't be on the Talk That Talk show without talking about some NBA. I'm sorry. I got to talk about a little NBA. But, some people might say to me, are you worried about your pick? Because I did pick preseason. I said the Boston Celtics were going to do big, big things. I think they were going to win it all. I think they were going to win the NBA championship. But, the only team in the Eastern Conference that really, threatens me or thinks that I don't know if I'm going to go against Boston, and that's Toronto. I mean, how good do they look even though they've lost Kawhi Leonard, even though you lose Danny Green, and you're still blowing the Nets out, by the third quarter. You're up 3-0 in the series, on cruise control. You're going to be able to get the rest that you need to go up against maybe a Boston. But, I'm definitely still sold on the Boston Celtics because I tell you this, in the Eastern Conference, it really comes down to your guard play. And I think the guard play from, that team is just so far beyond any other team in the Eastern Conference. I know Fred VanVleet has been balling out of his mind in the bubble, and he's been doing really well for Toronto. But I think the combination of Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, and then a Marcus Smart who's really going to defend your best guy and give it all you got, I think that even starting Jason Tatum at the power forward position, that is absolutely scary. But the only thing that, really worries me about Boston is that Western Conference because if you look at a team that's tall, like the Los Angeles Lakers, or you have any other team out there like, who would I, potentially say? Maybe a Denver Nuggets who's just as big as well, too. That's the type of height that kind of worries me about Boston because, when you look at the height they have, they've got Daniel Theus and you have an Enes Kanter who is a Nick reject. He's very good on the offensive glass. But is he enough to stop, your top guys? I mean, I was looking at the Laker game the other night where they blew the doors off, Portland because, Portland, they stole a game from him, right? But I watched that Laker game and I saw, a team that was very, very diverse. And they just really poured it on. I know we were looking at KCP and like, how is this guy getting a check, man? It's the biggest atrocity. But, when that Laker team is playing on all cylinders, I just don't know what team can beat them, man. And Portland is, Dame Lillard already proved enough, man. I tell you this, he proved enough and he stole the game. I thought Portland was going to get swept. I really did. But, when we look at it, the Lakers seem like they're a rhythm team. And that's going to be my pick from the West, and I still believe in him. Even though people are getting on the Dallas train, I know Luka Doncic is, he's like a wizard out there. But I really believe that playoff experience will prove to be the deciding factor in the West. I mean, when you look at that Laker team, look at these guys. I mean, you have Dwight Howard, who was playing cleanup minutes. You had Dion Waiters, who was playing cleanup minutes. I'm sorry, J.R. Smith did not look good. I don't know I think I see why he was out of the league. I don't know if anybody that watched those last, minutes of the game, but J.R. Smith, he looks like he needs a little bit more work, But I tell you what, that team is so balanced, and I think it's not out of the realm of possibility if we have a Boston-LA yet again. I just don't see how the Lakers can try and not win this chip. With the weight of Kobe Bryant on their shoulders, man. Trying to win it, in his honor. Shout out to Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, man. But it's hard for me, and I don't think that I'm gonna change any of my picks. I'm gonna stick with it. But I wouldn't be the Talk That Talk show if I didn't have my ceremonial beer review. Tyree, can you pass me the ceremonial beer that we have for tonight? Shout out to Tyree. He's stepping in for our dad. Dad, like I said, is in quarantine. Love you, Pops. Glad you're still listening out there in the room. But here we have another Bolero Snort beer. I kept it local, kept it in Jersey here. A lot of the other beers have been different because they've been like a Pilsner. One was like a double IPA. They were a little bit unconventional beers, shall we say, right? But what I'll say is this. This beer is going to be one that I think is maybe as comparable to a Yingling, but I think it's a lot better than a Yingling. And this beer is actually called Meadow's Land Lager. It's actually a lager, like I said, almost similar to the Yingling, but I think that Bolero Snort Brewery makes a lot of good beers. Shout out to Liz for the mug here. Awesome job. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. We still got Colin Maccabee logged into our Facebook live stream. Shout out to Theo Mahan. Before I actually get into the beer review, let me tell you this. Hold on. And this is for all my Call of Duty players out there. Shout out to Richard NG. We got to get him some reps. Maybe, get him some games tonight. But for those that don't know, I do stream on Twitch, all right? And I got the great chance and the great opportunity to get my 100th Warzone victory. Shout out to all of my friends. I think we had, Theo in the party, Reese, Jeffrey, Ishabad Crane was there. We popped champagne on the Twitch stream. It was so dope. But, for those Warzone players out there, I really have to if I had to give any tip out there to just someone that likes Warzone but is trying to work on trying to get more wins and see if you can get some wins on your win column, I'm going to tell you this. It wasn't an easy road to get to 100. There was a lot of nights I went to sleep pissed because one of my teammates didn't work through, right? But I'll give you two different things. You have to have a solid team. You cannot go on to Warzone and just think that you can just rock out. All of my friends like Peter, like Tyree, like I said, Jeff, Theo, Reese, Twan, all those guys, man. We've been playing so many hours, so many countless games that we have that rhythm. And that's tough to get when you don't have people that you're playing a lot of, reps with. So, I wouldn't have got to 100 if it wasn't for all of my friends out there that I play every day with. Secondly, right, my boy Ishabad Crane was doing his work. He was doing his homework because he brings up the second big point for me, and that's elevation. Anytime you have the high ground on anybody, whether you're playing Fortnite, whether you're playing Call of Duty Warzone, whether you're playing any type of game, if you have elevation over somebody, it is a lot easier to direct the action, a lot easier to secure wins, right? So if I had to give you any advice, is please make sure your teammates are listening and on the same page. Be proactive instead of reactive. And then secondly, get elevation, all right? Try and get yourself up higher than your opponent. Stay ahead of the circle, and you'll get 100 wins just like me. So to that, I definitely want to say cheers up This beer is called, yet again, the Meadow's Land Lager. It's by Bolero Snort Brewery. I love that, brewing company. They got to come talk to me, man. I mean, I got 5 sponsors on the back of the OG4, so maybe we can get them as a sponsor too soon. So for everybody that has a beer out there, thank you for spending your Friday night with me, listening to all my different things I want to talk about, because, this show is for you all. So if you have your beer, take it. Cheers up. And here we go. Woo! That was good. Woo! Damn, I definitely hadn't had that done chugging in a minute on the show, man. I know I'm gonna get some flack for a lot of people. They're like, "Whoa, that looked like it got him." But I tell you this. When you're talking about a lager like Meadow's Land, I really, really, really like this beer. Even though I chugged it, I'll tell you this. This beer is smooth. It's very good. And at, 5.1% alcohol? Can't go wrong, man. Whew. I tell you what, even though, I chugged that beer, I can never still get used to that little gas you get afterwards. But don't sleep on me. I still got that Barry Beer's potential, all right? But for those of you that didn't know, if you commented into the stream, if you haven't commented in, please, this is your last chance now. We are going to raffle off one of the last ones of these Talk That Talk Show masks. This is a face mask made by my boy Timmy Hugel at Ink Parlor. I tell you this, man. This is made, I was so excited. I was literally on the beam painting. Tim caught me balancing, trying to keep my balance on this little ladder. And, he surprised me with this. And, to celebrate the success of the OG4s, I thought I wanted to give, everybody out there some sort of appreciation and my thanking to you for tuning into my show, supporting me in my dreams, and just letting me, keep through here, man. Like I said, if you want to get into the raffle, please put your name into the stream. If you commented in, let's see if we can get some more people. Tyree, Matt Kuyumjin, Walt Hepfield, Dom Suave, Richard NG. Let's get Emilio. Shout out to Emilio on our Instagram live stream. We had a lot of fun here tonight. I just love coming through here and delivering you guys a quality show. I love supporting local businesses. I have Skydye Socks as my sponsor. I got Air We Are from Edison as a sponsor. We got VW Liquors located in Wick Plaza, Edison, New Jersey. Let's go, Mets! Let's go, Mets! Gotta give a big shout out to my boy Savion Gaynor, because he hooked me up with the inside scoop for a release at Hat Club for this dope Mets hat. Gonna have myself a nice little pink brim, so, shout out to Say and, hooking me up with that. But, over at VW Liquors, I love Caroline, I love my boy Dave, I love my boy Gabe Azzarello, who I'm always talking to, hanging out with that guy, and he's been somebody that's been supporting this show from day one. Shout out to Tim, who's been hooking us up with the beers, on the reg, shuffling things out, making everything current, and Neva for always greeting me with a nice smile, and Crystal Dice for, even starting the whole idea of tie-dyeing shirts. So, that place, they're a special place to me as a sponsor, and I love them very much. And, shout out to Ink Parlor as well, like my boy Tim Hugel. I love that guy, and he's a critical part of this team, because he's constantly thinking of really dope stuff to give to you all and for us to push this brand. And I've been so humbled at the response that we've gotten from everybody tuned in and from people that have just been watching the show and helping it to grow. So if you have an OG1, 2, or 3, thank you for supporting. If you pre-ordered on the OG4, I thank you so much. Please post pictures with your shirts. I'm going to try and, put you and highlight you on Instagram as much as possible. It's really dope to look through, and there's some times when I'm having a really rough day. I'll just look on Instagram and look at all the different people that is rocking my shirt, man. And, that's inspiring. And I've actually been told by a couple of my really close friends how inspiring this movement has been. And the only thing that I can do, the thing that makes me right, and I can sleep at night, is that I'm putting 100% effort into this show and to trying to be a better person and be a better podcaster for you all out there. So, this show means the world to me. It saved me in so many different ways. And all the support that I get from you all out there on Instagram and Facebook Live, all the supporters that talk about the show, mention it to people, wear the shirts. I love you all. And this is the reason why I come every week on Friday night. I pour it all out there for you all because, you mean the world to me. And to that, I definitely, like I said, I want to raffle off this face mask to one lucky winner. Tyree, how many people we got here on our raffle here?
You got 16 so far. 16
people? Wow, that's a lot, man. Let's bring that wheel on the other side here. Thank you, man. So, we got the wheel spun here. Everybody out there, this raffle is for you. This is for a face mask, and from the Talk That Talk show. Shout out to my boy Timmy Hugel over at Ink Parlor. If you ever want to build your brand or get anything printed up, so super dope, please hit him up. And only in ceremonial fashion, I gotta put the face mask on for him. This is for the face mask, guys. This is for the face mask. I'm gonna spin that wheel in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and spin. The wheel is a spinning. The wheel is a spinning. And our winner is Richard NG. Richard, you have just won yourself a Talk That Talk show face mask. It actually goes perfect with the OG2 that you ordered. Now you got a reason. You already paid me. Come pick up your shirt, homie, because now you got yourself a face mask to go with it, man. Sheesh. Shout out to Richard NG, who has been the winner on our raffle. Oh, man, that is dope, man. That is dope. If people do like these face masks, just put in the comments, man. Put that you like these face masks, because if you do, maybe I will go out and try and get a little bit more of them. Remember, also my sponsor at 91s.com. They got the best acid wash apparel in the game. My boy Cody Brownlee hooked me up with this OG1 remix, the smoke version. I wore the campfire one last week on the last episode. In the OG4, I'm actually pictured wearing the campfire shirt. So please check them out at 91s.com. We got an exclusive deal with them. You can only get these shirts from 91s.com. They get the best acid wash apparel in the game. This show is for real, man. I don't know if you know it, but like I said, we got 5 sponsors. We got a continuously growing fan base. To think that we weren't even streaming on Instagram Live not even 2 or 3 months ago is crazy. It's insane. But, to think that each and every week we have about 20 to 30 people that want to listen and hear to what we're talking about here, it means the world, because this show is also your show as well, too. Be on me, be accountable, hold me accountable, tell me stuff you want to hear about, tell me the things that I'm not talking about that you want to hear, and I'm going to do my best to provide you quality responses and give you the best show that you can watch on a Friday night and feel proud that you can wear one of these Talk That Talk show shirts. And I promise you that very, very soon you will have a website that you can go to check that out at the Talk That Talk show, all right? I promise you that is my homework. That is my goal. I'm going to try and get this website launched very soon, because the support that you all have shown me out there by tuning in, by getting the shirts, I have no question in my mind that it is time that we launch the website. And I promise you that's something that we're going to have soon. So thank you so much for tuning into the Talk That Talk show every single Friday night. This is something that you can count on. And for those people out there that have messaged me with some inspirational messages and it truly has shown me the support that I've needed in times where I might not look like I need it, man. You never know what someone's going on in their mind and in their life. And I tell you, all of you out there, you really pumped some more life into my body. I promise you that. I promise you that. And to that, I'm going to do my best to get this edited out and on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, you name it. We're streaming on it. I love you all. This is the Talk That Talk Show. Follow us on Twitter, Talk That Talk SH1. Follow us on Instagram, _Talk That Talk Show. I love you all. I'm going to keep grinding. I'm going to keep pushing. And please, everyone out there, know your worth. All right? Know your worth and stick with it. All right? It is a lot of times where we undersell ourselves and we undercut ourselves. But, you know, that's one thing that this Talk That Talk Show represents. And that's knowing your worth and not being afraid to express yourself, right? So, to everybody that, you know, believes the same thing for me, you know, this is the Talk That Talk Show. Thank you for tuning in. I love you all, and I'll see you all next week, all right?